I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
I'm still here.
You are.
Two weeks in a row, look.
That's it.
I'm not ill.
No, you're all right. The lungs are still on the inside-ish.
Still all in the right places. I'm not Rob.
Nope.
And all is well.
No,
Yes.
you're all right. I even saw you in person, and you looked fairly human.
We did have we had a little outing this week, didn't we?
I mean, on the whole, successful.
Yeah, we achieved what we needed to achieve.
Yep.
We were transporting an item, and it arrived safely at its destination. All was well. It was the trip after that where things.
You make the item sound like a mysterious, wondrous thing.
Well, my old fridge freezer was mysterious and wondrous.
Well, the smell was.
Yes, I told you not to open the door. It's not been open for 6 months.
No, I double-checked which way it was hinged and just got a little waft, and that was it.
You seal a box for 6 months, it's not going to be good in there. No, that's why I told you it was important which way up we got it, because if those doors flew open when we were in transit.
Not good.
It could have been dangerous. That
could. So yes, we safely deposited that at the recycling centre. No fly tipping. We were well behaved.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't heave it over a hedge. No, we put it in the correct place. Yes, very good. All responsible. Yes, and you can get a built-in fridge freezer in a Volvo V70. How about that? That's important consumer advice right there.
That is, and it wasn't like jiggling it about. It was one seat adjustment and away you go, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't have any leg room left, but in the passenger seat. But it went in, nothing got broken. I was very impressed. That
was it. Yeah, that was all right.
No swearing, no squashed fingers or anything. It was all good.
It was a little bit of swearing at the recycling centre where the man in his van who was obscuring all of the parking spaces was doing quite the cockpit check, wasn't he?
He was doing a lot of pre-flight checks before he pulled away there. Yeah,
and he was doing. There was definitely a bit of sort of cutting shapes as if he were on some sort of dance floor as well.
It did look like he was throwing some moves in the driver's seat there. Yeah.
Yes, it did look a little bit like the big fish, little fish cardboard box type affair.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there, but strange things happen in VW vans, so we shouldn't. That was two-tone as well, which was a lot of,
that's because the bottom tone will have been covering up rust.
Oh yeah, true. Paint it black, you can't see it.
That's it. It was that age of vehicle.
There you go. Yes, it was.
Yes.
However, once the space was identified, we were all over it.
Yep. In went Volvo, out came the crap, and off we went.
Yes, and all was well, or so we thought.
Now, what we discovered, and I tell you what, I have done some background checks on this, actually. I've consulted our inside contact on this.
Yeah, because we've decided that he's responsible for it, even though he's not a member of the club anymore.
Apparently he is, but he has nothing
so he
to
actually
do.
is responsible for it.
Not directly anymore, I'm afraid. He's not involved, really.
Okay.
So that's all right. But I explained the situation.
Right.
So I do have some facts from the club in question that are very pertinent to what we're about to moan about.
Okay, because we were quite cross.
Yes. And what happened is we were on the way back to my house, and we encountered a running race.
Running race, yes, on the road.
On the road.
Main road.
Which, at the face of it, there were some signs up and there were some runners, and we were at the roundabout, and we thought it'll be fine because, and I will say to the runners that were there initially, they were all doing single file, and it was like, well, just drive past them. It's fine, not a problem.
They were single file. They were spaced out. They seemed not like that. They seemed to be okay. Yeah, you can manage. You can manage that because that's no more width than a bike. Although they're quite annoying as well. But
not an issue really.
It was all right to begin with. Yes.
However, we exited the roundabout and then immediately realised perhaps not all the runners were quite so fastidious about their road positioning.
Yeah. Yes, or curtailing their flapping arms, as it turned out.
And I'm aware that you do move your arms when you run, but there was some interpretive dance going on, I'd say.
There was. In the middle of the road.
Yes. And what we encountered, it wasn't just a single occurrence either.
Oh,
it was
no.
Repeated, I mean, in double digits of repeated of clumps of runners running up to 6 abreast.
6 abreast across the road and for a distance of a couple of miles, like that?
Yeah, there or thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a bit where I got some background information because I consulted him about this and he said, oh, you're not going to moan about them on the road. I said, yes and no.
Yeah, let's clarify. Yes.
I don't have an issue with you having a race on the road. That first batch, perfection.
Yeah.
Having a little run, keeping themselves to themselves, but clumps.
Yeah.
Idiots.
It starts to become, as we said at the time, and I'm not joking about this, it starts to become genuinely dangerous.
Yes, because we were driving on at a snail's pace because, well, I don't want to maim one because all the forms and no matter how I spin it, it'll be my fault.
It will, and you're just gonna scratch your paint as well, isn't it? And a skull will dent your bonnet.
It will. It will leave.
You don't want that. You don't want that. No.
But the issue being when those clumps were there, you go, right, well, that's great and all, but there is traffic coming the other way.
Yeah, this road, we should clarify, it's not like we strayed into a road that was closed. This is a main road that was open in the middle of the day.
Yes.
And there was traffic coming towards us, and it was impossible for us to get across our side of the white line. So what do you do?
Which on that stretch of road is quite predominantly a solid white line.
It's a solid white line, and this is not a wide road.
No.
I mean, we're in Devon, so I mean, wide roads are hard to come by.
But Phil clarified and said the rules are single file.
Well, there was a lot of them not following that rule then.
Yeah, I mean, when you say a lot, honestly, I'm not trying to exaggerate and be a dick. There were hundreds of them not adhering to single file. Not adhering
to that. 5 or 6 abreast, taking up the whole of the lane.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
It was genuinely dangerous. It really was, and it shouldn't be allowed.
No, that's fine. If you send them out single file, not a problem.
Yeah, you can cope with that.
Yeah. But
5 or 6 abreast, no, that is dangerous. It really is.
Yes, it's not the London Marathon. The road is not closed. And also, I just said, as a genuine suggestion to Phil, I said, I would have actually preferred it if I'd have got to that roundabout and they said, oh no, the road is shut. We're going, all right. I would have accepted that over this sort of.
Yes, because there is another way we could have. There's another way we could have gone, and actually, if we had gone that way, we'd have got there quicker. But
yeah, I mean, it's not.
But
it wasn't the fact that we needed to be anywhere. We were in a hurry. The biggest issue of it was the danger element. You go,
yeah, and it was dangerous. It really was.
Yeah, because because we've been sitting on this since Sunday, and I thought at the time we get quite moany, but now I've thought about it, and you go, well, actually, it doesn't bother me. Have you running race? But that it's like, well, it's the dangering themselves. It doesn't. I don't know.
Well, the problem is you're driving, and we did actually see after we'd cleared them. We did then almost immediately see a double-decker bus coming the other way. And the thing is, if that had come our way whilst we were next to them, what are you instinctively as a driver going to do? You're going to steer out of the way of the bus.
It's not ideal.
What are you're going to have to make a decision there, aren't you? Because that bus is coming straight at you.
Yeah, so
that's going to hit your side of the car.
It's a complicated one, that, and
it is.
I just.
What do you do?
Yes, and I thought no, because he will listen and he will have comments. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to be objective and say, look, I worry mainly for the sake of the runners.
Yeah,
because it was utterly dangerous.
It was dangerous. It was irresponsible on their part, and I think they need to be told that that's not on, and if they're going to do it again, maybe even it become a police matter, because it is genuinely dangerous, and they should not be doing it.
Just close it. That's the easiest thing.
Or get a permit and close the road. You can do. You can apply to the council and get a permit to close the road. You wouldn't need it closed for that long.
No, they weren't there for that long. I mean, half hour tops. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, to get them all through, it might take a bit longer than that. But by the time I came back, because obviously I drove the car back to my house, but I didn't go that road.
No,
obviously I went the other way. But I came back down to the same roundabout where we joined that road, and they were all gone. So so I would say no more than an hour. But the 5 or 6 abreast for a good couple of miles, that's not on. You can't be doing that.
No.
And
too naughty.
I think they need telling about that. But it did get us quite riled up at the time.
Well, it just seems daft. That was the problem. It's.
And the problem is, because you're having to make your way down the line, it was a matter of pulling out round the clump of them completely onto the wrong side of the road, and then immediately coming back in again between the two clumps of people because there was traffic coming the other way.
That's it. It's
swerving out from behind them and then immediately back in front of them, which you have no choice. You have to do that. That in itself is dangerous.
Yeah, there was a lot of mirrors going on there and blind spots.
Yes, absolutely.
Got neck strain after that.
But what if you're in a van or something? The blind spots are enormous.
Yes.
No, they shouldn't be doing that. They really shouldn't be doing that.
No,
especially when there's a path right next to the road. But we won't get into that.
No, you see, I raised this point.
Did you?
No, it's right, and it was explained, which was fine. What they did, they did use it on the return journey. They were using it as a loop,
right?
Which when it's planned out, is like I said, it is a fine route going right. They run out to a certain point, and then run back on the trail. Fine, do a loop, and it's. Okay. I can't remember what the distance was, but it's a fixed distance, job done.
Yeah,
but it all works. In theory, when you go file, loop back at this point, and then you're on the trail.
Got to be single file, otherwise someone is going to be killed. It's as simple as that. Someone is going to be killed if they're going to keep doing that. Because
it's you go right. Well, all right, like you said, it was slightly irritating, but there you go. These things
because we weren't expecting it. But we were all right, like you say, we were all right to begin with, and then all of a sudden, 5 or 6 across. What is going on here?
And it's fine. I don't, like I said, we don't mind the race. Just don't be a dick about it, because you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I mean. Someone's going to be killed or seriously injured because they're not paying attention. You are on an open main road.
Yeah, that's a delimit, so 60-mile-an-hour road.
It is in sections, yeah.
Yes.
It actually is, yes.
Yeah. So,
someone is going to be killed if they keep doing that.
Yes, just please be careful.
Yes, do take note.
By all means, be fit and healthy and do your run. But just don't hurt yourself. What's the point?
Be mindful of the fact that you're on a main road.
Yep, you've got a fantastic cardio system and
yes.
brilliant muscles, but when you're attached to the front of a bus, they don't really count for much.
It's not going to do you a lot of good, is it? You'll be the fittest person in the morgue. That's the problem. Yes.
So I don't know. I wouldn't even say that was a rant. That was genuine constructive criticism.
No, it's a concern because that was genuinely dangerous, and I think they need to pay a bit more attention to what's going on than that, as do the organisers of it.
Well, that's the problem is, I mean, the organisers can say as much as they want, and they don't. There's only a certain amount of them, so they can only police certain portions of the course, can't they?
Yeah, I suppose if people are doing stupid stuff when they're out and about, they can't control that. But yeah, just be a little bit more mindful of where you are, I think, if you're doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's the responsibility of the individuals ultimately. But
yeah, it is. I mean, it's them that'll get stuck on the front of a bus, as you say.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, you don't want to be attached to a bus. And the person driving the bus does not want to see you attached to the front of their bus.
No, they don't. But if you're running 5 or 6 abreast across in front of him and flapping about, as some of them were, because some of them weren't running in a straight line either. So, no, they weren't. You know that's true.
No. It did look like there was one of them. He looked like he set off a bit pissed.
Yeah, he did. He'd started early, I think. Yes.
Oh, either that or he had a heavy night and went, "Oh bollocks! I got to do that run this morning."
Oh, I forgot. I got to do that today.
And there's still there was still quite a bit of it coursing around the system.
Still a bit in there. Yeah, that's right. There was definitely. You gave him a wide berth when you.
I did.
Yes.
I gave him in the entire carriageway because he wasn't happy. There was some balance issue or something. I don't know.
Something going on.
He'd gone.
He was all over the shop.
Oh dear. But yes, there we go. We've had our feedback, and
no, that is good. Because we were speculating at the time that well, surely they can't let them do this.
No,
but it sounds like there is a rule.
There is a very much a written rule to not do that, and
a good proportion of them were doing that.
Yes.
So yes, I think a word needs to be had.
Yes. Yes, some talking tos, I think, yes, before anyone buggers themselves right up.
Yes.
Let's go on to something mildly more cheerful and less
moving on.
Well, it wasn't preachy. No, it was important.
A genuine concern, to be honest.
Yeah.
It wasn't right.
Yeah, don't want them broken.
No.
Here we go. School run today, in fact. I picked up a little man.
Mm-hmm.
And today's spot was one that I was not expecting.
Okay.
It was a 3-door Mark I Focus.
Oh.
That's not all of it, though.
Oh.
It was on a flatbed.
Yeah.
And prepped for banger racing.
Oh, no. We're not at that stage, are we?
I get the feeling they're quite popular for that.
Well, they're quite solid, aren't they? So,
and I just thought, so they lost. I was like, no, he's actually gathering a child. I was like, okay, that's good.
Oh.
I didn't expect that. We've had all sorts, haven't we? Well, the last highlight was the Austin 7, but then today was a bang racer on a flatbed.
Oh dear, that's a shame. That's a shame. There's one, actually, funny you should mention the Mark I Focus. There's one that caught my eye on Auto Trader this week. It's a proper early one as well. It's the indicators in the bumper.
Okay, yeah.
It's a 2000, so not right at the beginning of production, but
close enough.
It's an X plate.
1.6
Z-Tech, 3-door hatch in that green.
Yes.
That they were all in at that time, that pale metallic green.
Oh, yeah, that does happen.
60,000 miles.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, 1.6 petrol manual. 475 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you inquired?
I haven't, because I've only seen it today and I haven't had time. It's in London, but says in very good condition, very reliable. One owner from new, so I'm suspecting deceased spec. Never been in a crash. The odd little car park ding, but nothing major. It's got a month's MOT on it, which is a little concerning. Probably fine. No pictures of the interior, just the exterior, but that could just be because most people take crap pictures when they're advertising cars. It's not with a dealer; it's a private sale.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, £475.
Right. My mind has immediately leapt to Stuff and Waffle's fleet vehicle.
Yes, I thought it might.
Right. I mean, it's not going to work if you send them a little message, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I've not even done a car check on it or anything yet, but one owner from new suggests it's looked and 60,000 miles. That
suggests it's not too bad. I mean,
it paints a picture, doesn't it, of the sort of person that's owned that.
Yes.
That is, how many Mark 1 Focuses are you going to find that have only got 60,000 miles on them?
Well, not a lot.
No.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. £475.
That's
unbelievable.
It's
a Z-Tech as well. It's not even a basic spec.
I'm going in. I'm here.
Have you found it?
Yep. It's bloody hell.
Look at that. I mean, it would have been nice if they'd washed it before taking the pictures, but you know.
Yes, it's not.
They're not, and there's only 2 pictures. But
it's not sparkling. However, I mean, for the money, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh dear. So let's have a quick. Oh, look at that. It's. I mean, it's not squeaky clean, but it's a lovely. It's a all right history.
Is it? Right. I haven't checked the history.
Yeah, we've got. The last MOT was a nail in the tyre and a grumbly wheel bearing.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah.
And they were only advisories. Considering a nail in the tyre was only an advisory.
Yeah. Okay. It's obviously not in a critical place. Although quite where isn't a critical place to have a nail in your tyre, I'm not sure. But...
No, if I find one, I tend to replace it.
Yeah, I don't mess around with that. That's, again, being the original shape, indicators in the bumper. Yeah. Which are getting quite rare now. That's, I would say, from the font on the number plates, that's its original plates as well.
It could well be. I'm diving in here. Oh, you say London's pearly, so that's actually not horrific to get to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's down near that's over near Grotty Croydon, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think but it certainly could well be.
3-door's a bit rarer as well.
Yeah, and just as a point of reference, it's not very far from Toyota's headquarters in Great Britain.
Oh, you know about them, don't you?
Yes. Yes. It's just pointless facts here, there, and everywhere. Okay, right. We're going to follow up on that tomorrow, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I did think I should mention that because that is exceptionally cheap.
Yeah, that's beyond daft. Yes. All right.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. That's yeah. There will be follow-ups on that.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Good.
Whilst we're on found. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, I was. Yes. I like to keep myself abreast of what's around. And I do occasionally check out Mark 1 Focuses. There is another one which is actually slightly cheaper, but it's spares and repairs. So
yes, I saw that one and thought that's more of a can of worms. That one.
That one's actually a gear, but no MOT. Whereas the one we're looking at is, well, as they used to say, taxed and tested.
Indeed, it is.
So although the tax bit doesn't mean anything anymore, but the tax tested does.
Yes. So
it's not got oodles of MOT on it, but there you go.
No, that's fine. Sorry, you were going to say about some more Auto Trader.
Whilst we're on Auto Trader, little question for you. Without checking, because I know you're on Auto Trader now, but without checking.
Oh, just all right. I did click away. You're all
okay, that's all right. Without checking, what is the cheapest vehicle currently for sale on Auto Trader in the UK? To clarify for our
in the UK, so what's the cheapest at present?
What is the car that is the cheapest vehicle advertised on Auto Trader right now? And how much is it?
And without looking, right?
Looking, just have a guess.
I am gonna go for £295, and it's a Peugeot 206.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. You were very close on the price.
Oh, okay.
But it's not. And the reason I bring it up is that it kind of illustrates the point that we made last time, because it's a Fiesta.
Okay. Right, hang on then. Right, I'm going back in.
Go and find it for yourself. I imagine this changes quite regularly, but
there it. Oh, Jesus God, it's one of my favourite types of adverts.
Yes.
I've put a photo of a screenshot on.
Yes, it's a screenshot from a phone. It's terrible.
If only there was some magical way of taking this photo and putting it on the internet from your phone.
Bizarre, isn't it? If only someone had thought of that. Yeah, what a useful feature that would be.
Oh, bloody hell. I tell you what, I wasn't far off. For 350 quid, there's a 206.
There is. There is, but there's a Fiat Punto in between.
There is. Oh, dear. That's
earlier in the week, the Fiat Punto was the cheaper, but this Fiesta has snuck in the last couple of days. But I thought that beautifully illustrates what we were talking, because we were talking about Fiestas last time.
Right. Hang on. This one might bring this up and suggest that certain Mr. Friend has a look. He's got a penchant for small Italian things.
Oh, well, there you go then.
For £305, there's a 1.6 Fiat Punto Sporting in yellow.
There is, in yellow. There you go. That was the cheapest earlier in the week, but this Fiesta has just beaten it at £275.
Oh, it's quite up there. It's Newcastle upon Tyne. Mind you, his starting point's Birmingham, so he ain't got as far to go.
Well, it's not quite such a trek as it would be from here.
Yeah. So there we go. Oh, that was a fun game. I'm pleased with myself, but slightly annoyed that a throwaway guess was awfully close.
Very, very close. You were 20 quid out on the price, and
I thought away from perfection.
I thought you might say Fiesta, but no, you went Peugeot. But like you say, that's 2 cars away.
Yeah, no, I immediately went French. I thought that would be my first guess for clapped out shitbox for not a lot of money.
Like the Focus, actually, that Fiesta's quite low mileage.
It is. It's all right. It's a 2005.
It's a 2005 1.25 Finesse, so a special edition with 90,000 miles on the clock. Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't look very special in the appalling photographs. But
no, well, we use special in inverted commas. But
yes.
There you go. £275 is the cheapest car on Auto Trader right now.
Yes. So there you go. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought you might.
We'll play again next week.
Yes. Well, you could play that every week because it will be something different.
You could, yes. There'd have to be a hell of a prize for getting it spot on.
Yeah, because that's of everything you could choose. Yeah.
Yes. I've got something on my list here that I meant to remind you about.
All right.
that you said, "Oh, remind me, and I'll tell you something." And all I've written down is Tesco Range Rover.
Yes, right. That was the other thing I hadn't forgotten about that. Actually, It just hasn't come up the last couple of weeks. Well, I haven't done the podcast for anyway. There's been gaps. Yes, I saw something that really caught my eye, and it was one of those things that makes you sort of think, now what's gone on there? It was a Series 1 Range Rover.
Okay.
3-door.
Bloody hell. All
so
right.
proper early.
Yeah.
In white, but not a period white. I mean, there were a lot of them in white when they were new. But it wasn't a period white. It was much brighter and more kind of stark than it would have been if it was original.
That's an interesting choice.
So I think resprayed.
Yeah.
It had been jacked right up in the air, and it had these huge off-road wheels on it that was sticking out from the arches, which I think is an MOT failure. But it was proper been fiddled with, suspension-wise. It was right up in the air, but spotlessly clean. And completely blacked out windows all the way around, which I also think is an MOT failure.
It depends.
It is in the UK anyway, because you can't tint the front windows.
Well, I suppose the only thing that might be at saving grace, if it was really early, then it's probably MOT exempt.
That's a very good point, actually. Yes, that's a very good point. I didn't notice or take note of the number plate, so I'm not. But the 3-door Range Rover, I mean, you're 1970s, aren't you? That didn't continue.
No, it didn't last for long. No.
So it looked like it had been resprayed, tinted windows, jacked right up in the air, but certainly didn't look like it had done any off-roading because it was very clean. And it was making the most extraordinary noise, not dissimilar to some of the noises you make before we start recording.
Oh, okay. I see. That's... I wonder why it was doing that.
It's a bit of a wet slapping noise, you know? It was yes, quite... Yes, it was quite the soundtrack as it burbled past.
So that was coming from the mechanical elements of it, not the occupants.
You didn't see the occupants because,
couldn't see them.
Completely blacked out.
No.
Yeah. Now that may have seemed worse than it actually was because it was dark or going dark.
Oh, okay.
But nevertheless,
still a very odd spec, like you're saying. That's
very odd spec, but to spot a 3-door Range Rover is very unusual anyway. Series 1, obviously there's Evoque and things like that, but we don't
count those because they're horrific.
Yes, all poo.
That's someone's poured some money into that because that's not a cheap thing to do.
No, it's not. Just buying a 3-door Range Rover that's in reasonable nick these days is not cheap.
No.
Because they're quite rare.
Yes.
In fact, Series 1 Range Rovers generally are rocketing up in price. But the 3-doors, really rare. But,
they've
just caught my eye and thought, that's unusual.
Yeah, there's some decisions been made there. And
Yeah.
Well, if you spot it again, you're going to have to corner him and quiz him, I think.
Yes, have a word about that. Yeah, and try and catch the age of it.
Yeah, see what's what on that.
What's gone on here? Yes. And how much of this is filler?
It's probably fine. I've been out a lot this week.
Okay.
And as you've got my car,
I have. It's been very, very useful.
That's all right. The Mini back out in force.
Nothing wrong with that?
Well, we've been meaning to replace the battery on it because it keeps letting us down. After this saga with the alternator, I think the battery got a bit cooked, and I've been winging it and just charging it randomly.
Okay.
But no, this week plumped for a whole new battery. Because I knew there was stuff to do. Katie picked it up for me on travels, and all was well.
Okay.
And that was it. So I popped it in, and I thought, right, I've got to go out later, but I'm doing it now because it's not raining, because that's all it's done this week.
Yeah, it's been a bit damp around the place, yes.
That's it. So, yeah, but during a dry spell, I nipped out, popped the battery on, went back indoors, carried on about my business, and then went out in it, or tried to go out in it. Brand new battery, flat as a pancake.
Oh, no. So you got some sort of vampire drain going on?
No, just a battery that had been sat on a shelf for months.
Oh.
Yes, so, yeah, there was... there was some words.
Were there some language there, was there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yes, so yeah, that was there was a lot of swearing. So I put the old battery back in, which had more oomph in it, amusingly. Still not enough to start it, but I got my jump pack on it, and off I went.
Okay.
Because there's no bump starting it from where it was at the bottom of the drive, right in front of the garage.
Oh no, you got to push it uphill.
It's a very uphill. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
that's not going to work. So no, I've got one of those rather handy little, well, not pocket size, but they're very small lithium things that you just clip on.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, little boost packs. Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous. And yes, perfect. that got me on my way, and then I set off and go. Oh, it's making a funny noise.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's and it was. I'd noticed it a couple of weeks before and had the wheel off and had a look and couldn't find anything. So it was doing it again, and I thought, oh, bloody thing! And came when I got back. I did some more investigation and took it apart again and had a quick look. And I cannot see a bloody thing, and just made me think, well, it's got to be wheel bearing, because that's the only thing I've not been really able to take apart.
Yeah, well, they can cause funny noises.
Yeah, so that was it. I thought, all right, I consigned myself to the fact that that's going to need doing. So, but again, the next day I had to use the car. I had no choice. I got to go out in it. It doesn't matter. It's going to need remedying. However, it's not going to fail on me in an instant. It'll be fine. So off I go. And I had a short trip initially, then I had to go further afield. And I had my short trip and it was still doing it. And then I got back in the car for the longer portion of the journey, mended itself.
Oh, there you are. You see, Mini's fixed.
So what's happened there then? What on earth was that?
Yeah. You didn't have a stone stuck somewhere or something like that, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, no, because I got to the point of, after, when I initially had the wheel off, I just sort of did a brief observation and spun the disc and such like. But subsequently, I've taken more of it apart and took pads out. And
oh, blimey. Okay.
And put it all back together, and it still did it.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah,
and then it just went away.
Yeah, all done.
All better now.
Yeah, so I was so delighted because I drove out of the car park where I was and went, it's not doing it. It's mended.
It's fixed. Excellent.
And that was it. And I was all excited, and I was like, right, I'm about to tackle a B road for about half an hour now.
Oh, that'll find it if it's still there.
Oh yeah. I was properly excited about this. It's good. It's fixed. I can have a go. I had about a go for a minute and a half.
Oh.
And then I found a corpse behind the wheel of a Freelander. Oh my goodness me. Not a single spot to overtake that.
Oh no, and there you were.
That was it. All done. A minute and a half of fun. All finished.
Oh dear.
Yeah. 60-mile-an-hour road at 25 miles an hour.
Oh my word! Yeah, see that. You get that a lot around here in Freelanders.
Yeah.
They
didn't look well.
Did they? Well, they bought a Freelander.
So, because and as luck would have it, they turned off about 30 seconds before I had to.
Oh, beautiful! So you had 30 seconds of fun.
30 seconds of that was already in the 30 zone by then.
Okay.
So I watched them turn off, and that's when I got a full view of, like I said, honestly, I don't know how the vehicle was being operated. I've seen more life in hospital beds.
Oh. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes. Gaunt is really that's really overselling it, to be honest.
Maybe that's what happens if you buy a Freelander.
I don't know. I've only ever been in one once. I hated it.
Yes, I once took a trip in a Freelander. Where did we go? Oh, some awful industrial estate, Swindon or somewhere like that.
Don't be mean. I lived in Swindon.
Yeah, well, you didn't live on an industrial estate, or maybe you did.
I did not.
Yes, I did once take a motorway trip in a Freelander, but it was a long time ago.
Dreadful. Honestly, I had a little drive in. I had a little drive in it, and quite a stint of being a passenger in it, and it was uncomfortable in all in all senses of it. No, it's not.
Nice. No,
because you'd think, all right, it's not a car for me by any stretch.
Nope.
However, it might be a comfy ride. Nope.
Nope, not even that.
Rock hard, unpleasant.
Yeah.
You think they can sod off.
It's a strange thing, the Freelander. I was never sure quite what market they were going for.
It was a weird one because
sitting between the Defender and the proper Range Rover.
Well, because of their rumblings at the time of going, oh, this could be a replacement for the Defender.
Yeah, but they've said that about all sorts of things over the years, haven't they?
Yeah, and
because people thought that's what the Discovery was going to be originally.
Yeah.
But the Discovery, I think, acquits itself much better than the Freelander.
Well, it does in all ways, because it's more capable as an off-roader. Yeah. It's more utilitarian.
Yes.
And if you want it to be, it's an awful lot more luxurious.
The Freelander was near the beginning of this sort of trend of toy SUVs, wasn't it? That are just big cars that don't actually have any real off-road ability.
No, that's it.
And they're not more practical than an estate car, and the Freelander isn't.
No, it's a pile of toss, and that that side hinged rear door, that's perfect.
Oh, what a stupid idea that is. What a stupid idea. They're rendering it absolutely useless.
Oh, yeah. So,
well, certainly in a car park.
That's what I was thinking, because that's where they'll be taken. They won't be taken into the great outdoors. They'll be taken into supermarket car parks,
and you see a lot of them schools. Yes, quite.
Yes, we won't be buying a Stuff and Waffle Freelander.
We will not. No, if you turn up with one of those, we're going to go to the special room and have a talk.
Yes, but the day I turn up in an SUV, I think I deserve a talk.
You would.
All you need to do
yourself.
Just play our back catalogue at me and go, no,
listen to what you said on this date and this date and this date.
Yes, it is verging on weekly, that particular.
Now, go and push it into the sea and then come back and we'll find you something else.
Oh dear, what a piece of shit they are.
Indeed.
Yes, I don't want one.
No.
Well, it's been quite moany, this one, isn't it?
It has a bit, hasn't it? Yes.
Shall I tell you what? Shall I round off the episode with yet another moan?
Well, why not?
Yeah,
why not? We'll just call it a moany episode. Well, apart from the Mark 1 Focus I've found. That wasn't moany at all.
That was exceedingly positive. I like that.
Yes.
I've given you the car for a bit.
You have, yes. You'll get it back early next week. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. However, I feel I must vocalise the fact that I had to change the other fucking headlight bulb on it.
Oh, you did. You did mention that the headlights are now in full working order again.
Yes. So that they both went in relatively quick succession. Bloody thing. Oh my God.
It's quite a job on one of those, isn't it?
Again, I had to change it in the week that it was non-stop pissing it down. And I found a window of opportunity. I was like, I'll do it while it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
There is no dry enough window to tackle a job like that.
How much of the engine did you have to remove this time?
I ended up, there was quite a few electrical cables disconnected. I did initially try getting the sausage fingers in there in that state, just with the cables removed, but that wasn't happening. I had absolutely no choice but to disconnect both of the ECUs, which, yeah, that was fun. In
no way whatsoever.
No, they were in there. They did not want to come out, and they've got this weird surround on it. You look at it and you think, oh, it's a bit like a battery tray. You think, oh, they're in a tray, and you go, well, actually, no. It's just a shroud. You can remove the shroud and leave the ECUs there.
Oh,
I don't really know why you'd do that, because having had a quick look at it, and I saw some people on the internet doing the same thing, going, if you can technically pull this shroud out to give yourself a hint of more room, but more often than not, you'll bugger something up because you're pulling on it too hard and it'll snag a wire or something.
That's words to live by there.
Yeah, so don't do that.
Don't pull on it too hard so you snag the wire. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, don't do it. No, you can. Yeah, it's another one for the headstone, that, isn't it?
It is, definitely. He pulled on the wire too hard or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bloody snagged it, didn't he? And yeah, so 45 minutes later, we had a working headlight.
Oh, that's quite a long time, isn't it?
That is, well, that actually, no, but 45 minutes later, I had enough things back in the engine to be able to put the key in, turn it on, and make sure the light turned on.
Oh, well done.
That wasn't completely back together. That was right. Let's connect ECUs and reconnect the battery, and yes, all the faff.
All the faff. But then you were illuminated.
Yes, that's because we had like that weekend was apparently we had all of the outings at night, and I was like, well, I can't do that with only one headlight.
Yes, of course you did, didn't you?
Yes. So
less said about that, the better, I think.
That's it. So no, I think what we'd like to do next is okay. It's going to be a ball ache, but I think I'd like to follow Rob's lead. I'd like to have both of the light units out and give them a thoroughly good going over.
They could do with a buff. They're getting a bit cloudy. I was wondering about doing that for you as part of a sort of thank you for letting us borrow the car. But then you said you were planning to take them out and refurbish them anyway. So I thought, I won't bother then.
No, I'd like to have them out, and I'd like to at that same moment in time do a bulb replacement for something utterly tremendous.
Something of an LED form.
Yeah, something like that. Just something a bit beefier, a bit more expense paid on it, and they go. It's yes. I think that's the way forward.
Something that's going to last. Yes. If I may be so bold,
you may.
A couple of new number plates wouldn't go amiss.
Yes, particularly the front one, because in recent times, as in September, something has hit that and gave it a thoroughly good smashing.
I did notice it's cracked, and one of the screws has rusted all over it. And the rear one is starting to delaminate a bit as well. And I just thought a couple of new plates would really... It's amazing the difference they make. It will really lift it, just having a new set of plates on it for 20 quid or whatever.
Yes, they've Yeah, that it's annoying that front one went so recently.
I did notice that, and the GB that's on your plates will be no good for going to Europe anymore anyway, because that isn't recognised. So,
no, this is true. Yes,
you have to have a UK sticker now, so there's no point in having anything on the plate.
Thank you, Boris.
Yes, I know, but unfortunately, it's true.
Yes, yes, you are entirely correct. It does need a UK sticker. Yes, thanks to that floppy head fucking idiot.
At least in the Volvo, because it's got an upright rear window, you could probably get away with a static cling without having to put anything on the paint if you didn't want to.
Oh, true.
Put it on the glass, inside of the glass, rather than on the paintwork. I think that's what I'd do.
Get away with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd be all right with that. But a couple of new plates would really pep that up.
Yes, I think that's a reasonable suggestion. Yeah, well, it's due some treats, and
yes, it is.
I'm with a bit of a new job on the horizon. I might have some additional pocket money to actually spend on my car.
You are hoping? Yes, you are changing. Well, not really changing occupation, but you are changing your job. And,
changing where I'm doing it, and
yes.
So
a little bit of extra funds wouldn't hurt there.
No, that's it. So no, might point those at the vehicle, which would be nice, especially as I'm going to be using it more. So,
on a daily basis, more or less. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much. Although I'd like to share roles with the Mini actually on that one. I'd quite like to.
It wouldn't hurt actually to give them both a weekly run. Yeah. Yeah, especially as the car park of the place that you're going to be working at is not enormous.
No, it is a little tight.
It is.
Although I have been in the car park a few times because we've known various people who've worked there.
Yes, we have.
And I think the last time I happened to be in that car park, I was manoeuvring a van. So,
oh dear, yes. No, I made the mistake of trying to take my Tesla in there once, and abort. Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
I ended up reversing out and parking on the road.
What you should have done is just pulled up, just practically outside the front door, and go, "I've arrived.
I'm here." Yes.
That would have gone down really well.
Should have done that.
Yeah,
yes.
Get right on that.
Yeah, that would have really set the tone. Yes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's.
Bring him to me.
Maybe I'll do that on my first day.
I think you should. Just leave it right in front of the front door.
Well, what would be ideal is if the automatic doors open and you nudge the nose in and just leave it there.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Yeah. Just basically in reception.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Throw the keys at the girl then. Go park that for us, will you?
Oh, yes. I'll be leaving at about 5 if you could have it back here.
Yeah, we could warm it up. I don't want to get into a chilly vehicle.
Oh, no. It's the next best thing to having an app, isn't it?
That is, yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn, yeah.
Yeah, that'll set the mood. That's really going to go well then, I think.
I think the trial period might be affected slightly.
Oh, you'll slot right in.
Oh. Well, let's not go down the connotations of that particular phrase.
No, best not.
No, okay,
no,
right.
Don't do that either.
No, we're all good. No, we're fine. We've had our moans. We've had our constructive criticism. And we're now going to go off and make some inquiries.
I think we should.
Yes. I'm going to task you with that. And you're going to feed back tomorrow, aren't you?
Apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Get right on that. We'll update you next week.
See what's happened.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.